Thank you so much to all the supporters that make this channel possible. This is Subliminal, and today we'll be discussing my opinions on how combat ships rank for PvE bounty hunting in Star Citizen 3.23.1. Now, before you click off because you think bounties are not a good source of alpha UEC, some of the ships on this list will allow you to make millions per ERT bounty. I'm going to tell you how combat ships rank for PvE bounty hunting in Star Citizen 3.23, and we're starting right now. All right, a couple of things before we get started. If you skip over this part of the video, we are all going to clown you in the comments. First, these are my opinions. Some are extremely subjective, as I may have a different play style and or skill set than you. Second, the object of this ranking guide is to give you my opinions on what ships are most effective for PvE bounties so that you can make an informed buying decision, whether you're buying it in-game or from the pledge store. Lastly, this was recorded live on Twitch for viewers who like to view that content that way, but my weeks of testing were all done to make this YouTube video. Be sure to check out June's giveaway, link in the description. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get started, shall we? A couple of notes that I have written here. Hopefully I haven't missed anything, but I'm calling these ships HRT class ships. In this newest patch, the turrets, any ship with a big turret, really almost any turret at all, is going to be a problem for these light fighter starters and snubs. Doing a VHRT is not only going to be hard because of those turrets, but you're also going to have a hard time taking down the shield on some of the ships in the in almost every ship in the VHRT class, and some of the ships even in the HRT class are going to be a problem for some ships. The interceptor tuned ships will give you, we'll have this green. Well, here, let's pull up our first table here. These are all the E class ships, right? These are all shit basically for bounty hunting. We have a couple things here. Let me show you how we're doing this. So the shield here, and shout out to Avenger 1. I watched his PvP ranking guide, and I'm doing something a little bit different because, you know, it's different, way different than PvE and PvP are way different on what is meta. But so the shield is durability, the maneuverability is this running guy, the swords are your guns or damage, and then you have atmospheric flight. Atmospheric flight isn't too important because you can avoid that. I do all my bounties at Crusader. I don't go to Microtech. If you thought Master Mode slowed you down, wait till you get in the Microtech atmosphere. You can't even go your SCM speed in anything. Anyway, so yeah, that's what those mean. Green is going to be best of the best. Red is going to be bad, not good enough to do this and have fun. And then orange is going to be everything in between there, right? For all of these metrics: green, orange, red. All right. Another thing I want to talk about, when I tested these light fighters, this was early in the 3.23.1 patch. So the turrets were on 11. And I don't know if it's going to go back to that. So I'm going to kind of assume that it will. So understand that if I'm saying that a ship didn't even survive an HRT, it may be able to, you know, you probably will be able to survive right now. But whenever we start to get better performance in the game, you're going to have a hard time doing an HRT in all these ships down here at the bottom. All right, last thing I hope. In my opinion, what is most important in a bounty right now in this newest patch is your durability, followed by your damage output, then speed. And then I put atmospheric flight in because I feel like it could be important for these smaller ships. But that's the order. I'm sorry I didn't put them in the correct order. I fumbled this around when I first set it up and then just copied and pasted. So durability, weapons, speed. Kind of the opposite. Probably the opposite of PvP. One more thing I'm cutting into the notes. Oh my God. They're in order of what I think is best. So out of all the starters and snubs, some snubs are in here, I think the Mustang Alpha is the better out of all of these. as you guys can see, all of the starters and snubs are down here. We're gonna start out with the Mustang Alpha. Mustang Alpha has honestly a decent weapons package. It is probably the better starter package out of the two of these. It depends. If you want a little bit of cabin space, the Aurora could be a good one for you. But it's got more SCU space because it's got like cargo in the back, but it's not anywhere where you can actually put anything. The weapons payload that you can equip on here, because the default one only comes with like 2 weapons, I believe. You can put a total of 4. It's not that bad. It's slow and it's fragile. It's really bad. Yeah, and then the Aurora MR, similar. You get some extra weapons. Not Aurora MR, the LN. You get extra missiles up here. Depending on like what variant you have, just make sure you equip it with the most amount of weapons and it'll perform fine. But yeah, if you want a little bit of cabin space, the Aurora MR would be the better one out of those. Pisces, it does fly very well in atmosphere, but it's fragile. It's moderately speed equipped or whatever. And then of course, you know, with only 4 like size 1 weapons, I believe, it just doesn't have the teeth to cut through some of the ships that you can get in the HRT class. 100i, even more fragile, not as fast as you'd think. Low weapons. That's really it. All right, yep. So 100i has cabin space. It's got a fuel scoop, so you can 125A. I'm sorry, all of them have it. A fuel scoop, so you can scoop some fuel. This particular one has a couple extra missiles, but it still only has 2 smaller weapons. So weapons package isn't good, and it's slow. I should say it's moderate. It's moderately slow. The Sulin, big disappointment. You have some cabin space. You got 3 weapons. So we're talking about the same firepower that you might see from my Gladius, but it's slow AF, not durable, and because those are important, it's trash. Absolutely trash. Probably the worst one on the list. And then next up, we got the 85X. What can I say? I mean, nobody's going to use this for a bounty anyway. This is the 890 jump snub. It's not durable, moderately maneuverable, and doesn't have a good weapons package. It's got 2 weapons under the wings, and then a couple weapons under the nose, but they're very small caliber. Let's move up to the next tier here with our light fighters. And we have our racing ships. Fun fact, Avenger 1 put the M50 like S tier on his PvP list. Not here, boys. Not here. Did not have fun with these at all. Got eaten up by the turrets. Eaten up by the turrets. Very disappointed. Big rude awakening. But both of these are like equal. Everything I have to say about one, I could say about the other. Very fast and maneuverable. They're interceptor tuned. That's really good for PvP. It's great for PvE as well if you also are durable, at least, and or have a good weapons package. We don't have a good weapons package. They both do fly very well in atmosphere, but they're both fragile, and their fragility is really what's killing them. All right, let's go to C tier. This is where we start getting disappointed. This is where the tiers are. This one is very surprising. And it really shows you how having bad durability is a killer. The ship is very fragile. One of the ships in the S tier class is an interceptor tuned ship just like this, has a similar weapons payload. It also flies great in atmosphere. Trash ship. I mean, we're at the line now of where I wouldn't even recommend using these ships. And again, I'm gonna reiterate, this was when this patch first went live. I started doing the light fighters first. I pretty much went like in this order. So you may be able to get away with some things now, but you will not once we have better performance. If it goes back, I don't know if it's LTP or if it's too many people being on. I don't know. We have to see after Xeno threat and see what happens. 325A, you got a size 4 weapon under the nose, 2 size 3 under the wings. It's got extra missiles. It's got cabin space. It's got every freaking thing you need. It's gorgeous. I love it. But it just gets eaten alive. And that's where we're at with that. Very, very disappointed in that ship. I really did think it was going to be up in the SA tier because it's interceptor trim. Unfortunately, in PvE, with the way that these turrets are, how cracked they are, it just doesn't matter. All right, here's another. No. Okay, so first off, I consider this to be a medium fighter. Okay, and I full on planned on putting it in the medium fighter category, but it behaved like a light fighter. So I just figured, okay, I'll just go with what CIG said. Weapons are good. You can equip 4, traditional weapons on the ship. It'll have the same firepower as like a Gladius. It probably has more DPS than a triple with the bigger weapon under there. But anyway, yeah, great with the weapons. But it is so slow. Oh my God. Like, there's a couple ships on the list that are so slow that it's like frustrating. I mean, if you use joysticks, be easy on them, boys, because if you're using this ship, the Bandu Defender, you are going to be hurting those sticks. Pushing them, just don't push your sticks to the limit. Get your sticks calibrated. Maybe do something with the saturation or something so you don't have to push it so hard. Very disappointing. Some good things about the ship: it's got cabin space on the inside, 2 beds. So you can have a friend hop into the co-pilot seat. He can't really do anything but sit there, and it looks cool. And it blows up spectacularly. The green blood starts spewing out. It's actually really fun. Got to see that a few times. Couldn't complete the HRT in the Bandu Defender. One of my favorite ships from the last patch. All right, let's go up to the next level. See what kind of upsets we have here. All right, in B tier. We have, first in B tier, we have the Saber Raven, another frustrating ship. Its survivability is good enough because it's very fast and maneuverable, but it doesn't have a great weapons package. And I would maybe give it orange for weapons package if using an EMP in this patch isn't the most frustrating thing you're gonna do. So let me explain. When you change master modes, it resets your weapon priority. So if you want to use the EMP, you're gonna have to either come into the bounty with your in SCM mode from like far out so you can fiddle with the MFD, right? Or you have to go in nav mode, come out when you're close, right? Your shields will come up pretty quick and you can start fighting. Well, that's what you normally do, but you're gonna have to go into the MFD, fuck around with it, and then whenever you're ready, hopefully they haven't shot you out of the sky. So not gonna give it any points for the EMP because of that issue. It's just a current bug in the game, and hopefully it gets fixed. So honestly, I would put the Firebird before this one, to be honest. Firebird, it has the same size 3 weapons, but it has 12 missiles today. In, I believe, the next patch, I don't know if it's gonna be 0.1A or 0.2, but it's gonna be upgraded to have 24. I'm putting it right where it is because of the 24. Now, you guys know I'm not a damn dirty missile throwing ape, but I know I'm gonna try not to have my biases around with the rankings, but with that many missiles, it could be fun to do, especially now that ballistics are, in my opinion, are more valuable. I think I need to cut this into the video as well too. All of these light fighters were fought using M-series laser cannons. Now, I know you guys have been hearing about Omni Skies, about how good they are, but we're fighting in PvE, and generally speaking, the targets are bigger and slower than you are. I consider this to be punching up, okay? And when you're punching up, I prefer the M-series cannons over the Omni Skies because I'm not really gonna miss any shots, and I want the most amount of sustained DPS that I can have. So M-series laser cannons were used on every single one of these. Yeah, so anyway, you equip it with like some ballistics maybe, or you could do ballistic, like the deadbolts. The deadbolts if you want to do ballistics, but just note you're gonna have to rearm anyway. I might go ballistics with the Saber Firebird if you're gonna have to also, rearm the missiles as well. Me as well. I might dabble in some damn dirty missile throwing aping, All right, next up we got the Hawk. The Hawk is fragile as it's not I'm giving it moderate maneuverability. Basically, if it's not internet tuned, if it's not interceptor tuned, I'm just not going to give it a green for that. Just understand that. So it's slower, but it's got good weapons and it does fly good in atmosphere. And yeah, the Hawk also has the EMP as well. But again, I'm not f***ing around with that this patch. But yeah, I don't know what to say. If you're a good pilot, maybe you could take better advantage of it than I have. That's what I've always said about some of these glass cannons. I like to think that in PvE, I'm pretty decent. I mean, I don't know. Just because I feel like the internet just is gonna have people that are better than me. But I spend a lot of time PvE dogfighting. Anyway, but yeah, cool ship. It's got like 6 weapon hard points. Eventually, you'll be able to store a live prisoner in the back of it. I don't know why it's not interceptor tuned, right? If it's supposed to be a bounty hunting ship, you'd think it would have the capability of being able to catch up to someone. I don't know why it's not interceptor tuned, but that's all I really have to say about the Hawk there. The Cartueiro. Okay, so the Cartueiro is fragile. It is moderately maneuverable, has a good weapons package. It has 2 size 4 hard points on it. So you can equip some deadbolts, you can equip some M series cannons, and it slaps. The atmospheric flight wasn't that great, at least not compared to like the Hawk and some of the other ships on this list, but whatever. And by the way, the atmosphere I'm talking about is Daymar. Daymar is like a good middle ground. Yeah, so I mean, it's a cool ship. The way it transforms, the sounds it makes, doesn't have any type of room to put anything in it. So yeah, it's whatever. Cool ship. I mean, if you own this, you own it for the cool factor and just hope that it'll be good. Stealth doesn't matter currently in the game, so gets no points for that. So next up we have the Gladiator, which I know I kind of look excited now, but if you've ever watched one of my ranking guides before, I've always ranked the Gladiator pretty low. One of the major reasons was because of its price difference between the Harbinger and itself. So currently right now, the ship prices have been balanced. The Harbinger is like in the mid to low teens, and this is like 4 or 5 mil. So, okay, here's the deal with this Gladiator. You have 4 size 5 torpedoes on it. That's 1 more than the Harbinger. And then you've got, I think, like 2 size 3 weapons for the pilot. And then this turret up here is a manned turret only. I think this ship would be much more viable if it had the ability to slave that turret to the pilot. It's the only ship in the game. It's the only turret in the game that I wish was slaved to the pilot. All the other ones, like the Hurricane and the Scorpius, I'll leave those be. Those are duo ships. If you don't have another person to fly with and that ship's not for you, you have every other ship pretty much on this list. This one though is not one that I would recommend multi-crewing with. You could just there's like a lot better ships, right? And I'd say maybe money's not really a big deal. Then you got 2 people, figure it out. Get yourself a Harbinger. There's a lot of ships on this list further down that you can multi-crew with that are good. But anyway, yeah. So, this is the highest the Gladiators ever ranked. They haven't done anything really to the ship. The size 5 torpedoes are effective against HRT targets. No way you're going up higher than that. It's not going to do enough damage. So that's where we are with that. And then we have the Mantis, the last one in the C class. Was that C? Yep, B class. B class. Interceptor tuned, right? Okay. I mean, yeah, sure, right? So you can keep up with every ship. Okay, cool. I think a couple other ships could have maybe been on the list, but whatever. Doesn't have a good weapons package. It's only got 2 hard points, and it does fly really good in atmosphere. Gorgeous ship, great view. Oh my God, great view. A couple other ships have great views. The Mustang Alpha, Bandu Defender. A couple of them have exceptional views, I would say, because a lot of those have okay views or good views. But yeah, anyway, that's the Mantis. I don't know why you'd fly this. This is a PvP ship, in my opinion. It's got a quantum dampener and a quantum snare. So the full quantum enforcement package. All right. So you pull people out of quantum and you can stop them from being able to quantum. And that also means that in 3.23, they can't go into NAB mode, period. So they are stuck in combat mode. Pretty crazy. All right, someone in chat brought up that the Saber Ravens and the Saber Raven and the Saber Firebird are medium fighters. Yes, you wanna know what? They fly so fast and so good that I forgot, right? So I'm going to leave them here though, because like, I'd rather you know, consider this to be a light fighter. It doesn't matter what CIG says it is, because they don't even know themselves, right? Yogi Klatt said that the Saber is a medium fighter. I'm like dead ass serious. He said somewhere in between a light and a medium, and wait till we get down there. The Banu Defender has a size 2 shield generator and 4 size 3 weapons. So it's got better shields and weapons than the Saber, but it's a light fighter. They don't know what they're doing. With this weapons package, I'm just gonna go with light fighter. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it's called. It is on par with all of these ships. It's very similar flight mechanic. Not even similar. I mean, they're interceptor tuned, where some of the light fighters aren't. So it's faster. I digress. I want to take a second to talk about this month's stream sponsor, Factor 75. Stop ordering fast food. It's unhealthy and expensive. Instead, have chef-prepared meals delivered to your door. And when it's time to eat, you can load your meal into a microwave, oven, or my personal favorite, air fryer, and in minutes you can enjoy a delicious, never frozen meal. The discount that they are offering to viewers is insane. Discount link in the description. Save time and money with Factor and support this channel today. Let's get to our next A tier class. Here is where we have a major upset from previous patches. Let's start out with the Gladius. The Gladius is fragile. It's moderately maneuverable. It's maneuverable for a ship that's not interceptor tuned. Pretty much all of these are, except the last one there. And the weapons package is not top tier compared to some of these other ships on the list, but it does fly great in atmosphere. And yeah, I mean, sad to see it go from S tier class. I really enjoyed the Gladius, but the ships up there are like leaps and bounds better. Leaps and bounds, boys. Then we have the Arrow. Now the Arrow and the Gladius, I basically have the same things to say about it. You're gonna want to stick with, I don't even know if you could change it. No, you can't change it. You got a little bit less DPS because you have 2 size 1 turrets at the top and then 2 size 3 under the wings. That is no longer the meta to get the most amount of DPS for your ship. All right, that's where the Arrow is. Now the difference in the way the Arrow and Gladius flies are the Arrow's like pitch and yaw is like really good. It's like the best I've seen in the game. I was just whipping around, man. It was crazy. It felt better, I guess, than everything else except the interceptor tuned ships. But unfortunately, it's not good enough. I bet if it had 2 shields, maybe it could be durable enough to go up to like S, or at least the head of A. You know, but with the size 1 shield generator, they basically have the same amount of survivability because the Arrow is a little bit faster and the Gladius has 2 size 1 shield generators. I love both of these ships. I know that they might be the favorite of a lot of you guys out there, but unfortunately they're no longer top of the food chain. Then you come to the Blade. The Blade, the way I fly mine is I turn off the weak weapons. I think they're actually called that, but the 2 smaller weapons, so I can get more damage out of the cannons that are built in. Luckily, the cannons are pretty good, but I don't leave the smaller weapons on. I want more capacitor charge out of the cannons. They do have a different projectile speed, I guess, because the pip, I had 2 pips, and maybe another reason where you might want to turn off, even though the pip, like the spread between them wasn't that bad. Cool looking ship. Yeah, it's more durable than the 2 of these. You know what? I don't agree with that. Hold on. Sorry. I would say it's moderately defended defense wise. Durability. It's moderate durability. Not interceptor tuned. And the weapons package is okay. If I could have like 4 of those other ones, but that'd probably be OP. Great flying atmosphere. Of course, obviously with the Gladius and the Arrow were great as well. Next up, the Talon. Talon, moderate on the durability and speed. Again, it's not interceptor tuned. Doesn't mean it's slow. It's just not top tier. You have a good weapons payload. I like having 2 size 4 weapons on ships. I just wish it was more durable and it could possibly be S tier or leading the pack with A, and it flies good in atmosphere. Now, if you have a Shrike, I'd probably put the Shrike down here in the B tier with the Firebird. I didn't lose any wings. I just got destroyed by the turrets, but I didn't like lose any wings, or I didn't at least spin out when I lost a wing. I'm sure it really depends on how much of the wing you lose, but it was durable until it wasn't. But yeah, Talon, another one of my favorite. I like all these ships, man. Kind of sad to see him not in S tier anymore, and only 2 ships up here. And honestly, one of them, people might argue, might need to come down here to the top of A class. And then finally, we have the Tana, another ship that I've hated in every patch, and it is a little bit better because it has a little bit more durability, because it's more durable, and it has a good weapons package. It's actually like not too bad. As a matter of fact, it probably is really good with the NPCs behaving like they are right now. As soon as they turn back on, durability doesn't matter because they're just gonna eat you up quickly anyway because you're so slow. I hate it. It's got 6 weapons max you can put on. I obviously recommend putting on the 2 Tashima turrets. They give you 2 smaller weapons. Oh shit. Maybe I should have put, wow, look at the DPS and see what's better. I did the 2 Tsushima, but it may have done a little bit better if it had whatever the bigger weapon you could put on there. Try it out. Check it out. Check it out on Urkel. It is like with commodity wise, it's a decent starter fighter. It's the highest ranked starter fighter on this list, right? It's got room to walk around in. It's got SCU storage. It's got beds to log out in. I hear people are getting trapped in the cockpit though. You have to look that up on the issue counter or what have you, or ask some friends that you know own one. But everything about this ship is great, except it's very slow and it's ugly as fuck. That's all I really have to say about the Tana. That is it for the A tier, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Is that too much hype for YouTube? A YouTube video? Here we are, boys. Okay, so first off, we have the Buck. It's good for PvP. It's good for PvE. It's great. You know, I honestly don't know if it's durable or because it's fast as so its survivability is definitely green. The durability might very well be amber, to be honest, but it's so fast maneuverable, interceptor tuned. It's got a huge armament of weapons. Make sure you keep the bigger size 4 weapon up at the top. Don't put the spinal mount on. You'll lose DPS. Flies great in atmosphere. It literally is great across the board. Across the board, hands down. It ticks all the boxes, boys. It ticks all the boxes, and it's great. That's all I have to say about that. You guys probably already knew that. The Titan, let's go, boys. Let's go. It doesn't matter if it's a Warlock, because I'm not BMP anyway. I'm not dealing with that. The only downside to it is that it doesn't fly great in atmosphere. Basically, when you try to turn it, it's like you're fighting against, I don't know. It flies really bad in atmosphere, like worst out of all the ships on this list. So it's good enough though. One thing I can say now that I've now uncovered both the 325A and the Titan, I thought those ships were going to be on par with one another, but this, I literally tried an HRT bounty. Now this was the hardest HRT bounty you're ever going to get. It had 2 hurricanes in the bounty. The bounty was a warden. So two hurricanes and a warden. I tried 3 times. 3 times I got killed by the NPCs in the 325A. Came back in the Titan thinking, okay, like maybe somehow now the NPCs are on 12. Nope. Titan came through, wrapped it up. It was tough because of the combination of ships that I had to fight were just not in my favor. Great ship, great ship. The Titan is dope. More durable for sure, as fast as and maneuverable. Probably less DPS, much better than most ships on this list. It's got room for like 8 SCU cargo, bed to log out in. It's a great ship. It's a great ship. Yeah, so that's where we are with the, light fighter, starter, snub type category. If you don't see your ship on this list, right, it's probably a snub without a quantum drive. Can't do any bounties with those because you can't get to where you need to get to unless you put it in a ship that can get there, in which case that ship will be ranked on this list. Also, if somehow I missed something, just find a similar ship to one that you see here. Head over to spviewer.eu, a great website, shows some data. Take a look at the maneuverability, compare it. You could pick the ships you compare from. Compare your maneuverability. By the way, I didn't look at this when I was testing these ships, except, I'm sorry, I did afterwards. Like, I would either do good in the ship or do terrible in the ship, and I'd come here to figure out like what the is going on. Come here, take a look at the speed maneuverability, then take a look at the hull durability. You want to pay attention to the whatever can be destroyed and destroy the ship. So nose, body, the tail, none of that matters. Don't look at total health pool, and don't look at total parts. It's just those two right there are what's important. Oh, and the shield as well. Yeah, so if it's not on the list, find something similar, take a look at it, and then you could probably figure out yourself where I might have ranked it. Also, if there's any other variants of these ships, they all fly the same right now as their counterparts. I'm not gonna put every single variant of some of these ships, have like 4 of them or something. So I'm not gonna put them all on the list. These are all the ships that have a combat variant and a quantum drive. All right, next up we have the heavy fighter and medium fighter class, or I'm calling this VHRT class. Now, some of the ships in here, if properly equipped, can do an ERT, but most of them I did not have success with that, but they did fine during VHRTs. Now, one important thing to note here, at the moment I got to these medium fighters, right, and heavy fighters, the NPCs started to like tone down a little bit, all right? So if they put the NPCs back up to 11, some of these might not be durable anymore. What I did for this class is make sure that the NPCs were at least shooting at me. If they didn't shoot at me, then I just left the server, tried to find a new one where they would shoot at me. I felt like they just weren't as deadly as when I fought the light fighters. So I just want to put that out there. Again, all M series laser cannons on these, I believe. There's gonna be some heavy fighters missing. The next class is what I'm calling ERT class, okay? But basically, these are gonna be like smaller fighters, right? So if it's a smaller heavy fighter like a Scorpius, that's gonna be on here. Hurricane, those types of ships. But some of the bigger heavy fighters are gonna be down here in ERT class. I'm trying to just make this. I'm trying to basically sort it by class on what kind of bounties you're going to be able to do without having to be either an amazing pilot or have the NPCs basically be asleep. I think that's all I have to say about that. You know what? Chat. Like, just before I went live, I like set all this up. And right now, when I pulled this up, my heart sank. I just put this shit here, okay? And my heart sank. Can we get a moment of silence? I mean, honestly, like, this ship's been dead since forever, honestly. But like now, it's even more dead. It's not very durable. The speed will make you want to throw something at the screen. And its weapons package is good. Maybe decent. Some of the other ships on here have a better weapons package, but I don't want to talk about it anymore. Hurricane. Now, this isn't a bad ship, okay? This is a solo guide, so if you put another person in this, it'll probably rise up to the top up here, to be honest. But what's killing this ship is the weapons package. It's got 2 size 4s. It's not enough for VHRT to take it down in a reasonable amount of time if you're by yourself. But you can go all the way up to ERT, I bet, with that turret. Oh yeah, for sure. You can go up to ERT with the turret. It's not very durable, but it's not like terrible. It's slow, and I don't understand why. It's not in the description of what they have on the website. You'll notice I have a cargo package down here now. we're getting to the point where like some of these ships might be able to take on an ERT. And as you'll see in a bit, you can make some good money if you have some cargo space. So, but I'm not gonna ding the ship too hard in this medium fighter class. However, I will be in this because I don't know why you want to do an ERT for 25K. Like, I don't see the point. They're not that fun to do if you're not making good money. So yeah, put another person in here, it'll definitely move up. But if you're by yourself, it's just not the purpose of it right now. And with master modes kind of slowing things down and those turrets being good, I wouldn't recommend it. All right, now we're getting to C class where we have the glaive and the blade. All right, but I want to say that this is the line where you can't do an ERT, or at least it's like not effective to even try one. Yeah, the glaive, 2 size 5 laser cannons. Let's go. Turn off the little ones. You get a couple extra shots, more than a couple if you put the full max to max capacitor to the weapons. And yeah, cool factor, great weapons, slow. It's slow and it's not very durable. So that the durability is what killed it. If it was more durable, it would definitely be higher up on the list. Didn't really have problems. Like it wasn't hard to do a VHRT. So I'd say that that's where this line is. The scythe also has 2 size 5s. However, this other little one, still size 5, is like weird. So Urkel says it does no damage. That is actually wrong. It does damage because I turned all the other weapons off and actually blew up a Cuddy Black with it. Took a while. It also seems to like shoot 2 projectiles. So if you guys don't know, Urkel is, the data is taken from the game files. So typically it can't be wrong. What I think is happening is maybe the second bullet doesn't do any damage, and that's what Urkel picked up on, right? Because he basically probably writes a script that reads through the game's data and then plugs the stuff into the site, right? He can update the site after a new patch in like minutes, okay? So that's what I'm thinking is happening with that. So if you look up the DPS on this, it is definitely more. I can confirm that this little weapon does do damage because I was able to blow up a ship with only that weapon powered on. It almost looks like it does distortion damage, but it didn't shut off the Cuddy Black. So I don't know what's up with it. But like I said, it looks like it's a weird weapon. It looks like 2 projectiles comes out at once. Really weird. Anyway, that's the scythe. If you're a $20 a month subscriber with RSI, you get one of those as a loaner for the length of your subscription. Fun fact, they don't put that on the website, but really cool. And you might be able to get the glaive during Alien Week. Oh boys, we got an upset here. We got an upset here, boys. First on this is in order, okay? And we're getting to the first ship that I actually haven't flown. This is another thing I kind of want to put at the beginning of the video that I missed. I flew every ship, did multiple bounties in the class that I specified to come up with these opinions, okay? Except the Sentinel. The reason why? None of my viewers had one for me to use. I don't own one. I've always bought them in game, but they raised the price of it and I can't afford to buy it right now. So I'm not gonna buy it in game, and no one had one. Very surprised no one had one. Very surprised some of these other ships that I got the community to help me out with. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. The Cuddy Steel. I bet some of you guys up until this now thought that was the Cuddy Black. Nope, this is the Cuddy Steel, boys. Yes, Cuddy Steel. They just buffed the hull. That's really it. The hull HP is crazy. I've always made the joke that if you have a bunch of friends and you guys all want to go to Valhalla together, load up in the Cuddy Steel. Yeah, best drop ship in the game, in my opinion, right now. Maybe, I guess, the Hoplite could be good if you want to like do bounties with it. The Hoplite isn't on this list, by the way, but you could, we'll talk about it in a second. So it's got 4 size 3 weapons for the pilot. It's got 2 size 3 weapons for the turret. So the turret's pretty good if you wanted a multi-crew with it. This, of course, is on the list for being solo, right? Doesn't have any cargo space because of the jump seats in the back. And yeah, I mean, it's slow, but it's durable AF for ships on this list. Like even more durable than the Valkyrie. It's even more durable than the Valkyrie. All right. Very slow as expected. And the weapons package is good enough. Now we have an upset. My poor baby. I haven't flown it yet, right? But the hull HP is like halved. It's half of what you'll get in the Harbinger and the Vanguard Warden. Okay, I didn't look at the hoplite. If it's got the same as the Sentinel, it'll be down here. If it doesn't, it'll be up with the Harbinger. Yeah. So the turret at the top of this one only has size 2 weapons. All right. But it's got a big size 5 weapon under the nose. 4. I like to call them size 2.5. They hit pretty hard. 4 size 2 weapons in the nose. If you put ballistic cannons on it in the nose and under the chin, you can kill an 890 jump with it. I did it, and I have 1 more round left in each of my CVSAs. Okay. So yeah, we're getting to the point now where you might want to load up if you load up with ballistics, you might be able to actually do an ERT with it, right? Depending on how, what level the NPCs are at. But yeah, it's got an EMP. Again, not with that this patch. It's moderately maneuverable compared to these other ships. It's armed to the teeth, but it's half the hull HP of the Harbinger, which is crazy. That may not even be that big of a deal, depending on how bad the NPCs are. But again, I haven't flown it, so I'm trying to do my best here. All right. The Freelancer miss. Surprising. It's moderately durable. It is slow AF. It's another one of those want to throw some in my screen. I equipped it with ballistics only to try to give it the best advantage I could. It was able to do an ERT. I don't think it would be able to do an 890. I didn't try that, but I don't think it would. You'd run out of ammo. I couldn't finish the whole ERT. I want to say there were 2 Hercules in there, maybe a Connie, and 1 other ship in the ERT. And I wasn't able to kill the final A2. There might have been 2 ships left because my ballistics ran dry. And I put deadbolts on it and it slapped. But it's very slow. If I have a feeling that if the NPCs come back, this might wind up being lower down the list. But I just have to make the best educated decision that I can. So that's where I feel it's at now. And then we have the Cuddy Black, which is a little bit faster, similar durability and stuff. Weapons package is well, actually shit. Like, no, this should not be green. Sorry, Greg. It should not be green. It does have cargo space. Both of these do. So if you do wind up taking out an ERT, you can load up the cargo, make some extra money. I'll talk more about that when we get to the ERT ships. But you don't have very much room at all. You might get a package that won't fit in either of these. It might be so big. So I wouldn't go out to do ERTs with these, because if you scan it and you find good cargo, you might be disappointed that you won't be able to actually take it home. But yeah, turret, nothing to write home about. But they both have good weapons. Turret on the Cuddy Black is good. So if you were multi-crewing with this, maybe I'd move it up a tier. But that's really all I have to say about that. Cuddy Black being a B tier, I think it's fine. Next tier. Now we start getting into, these are good ships. These are all good ships, all right? Kind of hard to like put these in any sort of order together. They're all good, but let's get started. So first one here is going to be the Harbinger or Warden, okay? And I guess the Warden would be a little bit further down the A list because it doesn't have the torps, but it is durable. It's slow, but it has good weapons. And if you are multi-crewing it, it has size 3 weapons on the turret versus all the other Vanguards. So that's a win for multi-crew. It has 3 size 5 torpedoes. They're currently bugged right now and you're stuck with them. But if you're fighting like an ERT or even a VHRT, because those ships are pretty big too, the cross-section missiles aren't bad. Yep, size 5 torpedoes. Oh, cross-section missiles. They work pretty good for me when the ship is big, like, you know, Hercules series ships, Starfarer, Reclaimer, stuff like that. They hit. They didn't do that much. They weren't enough to kill it though. Like, so I'm kind of disappointed there, to be honest. So I'm not giving it very many points for having the torps. Now, if you were punching down, you're hitting smaller stuff. If it could hit the targets, yeah. But for whatever reason, they're currently bugged right now, and people are unable to change the missiles. I don't know why. All right, next up, we got the Scorpius. Now, Scorpius is interceptor tuned. Now, this is a heavy fighter, so it's not as fast as an interceptor tuned light fighter. Interceptor tuning is like a sub archetype that could be added to like any light, medium, heavy fighter. But I don't know if it's durable or it's just fast and it has good survivability, but I've never lost a weapon. I never lost a wing. And I mean, it slapped. And I'm talking about solo. Yeah, I don't know if it was either more durable or if it just has good survivability because of the maneuverability paired with the durability, but it's got 3 or 4 size 3 weapons, pilot controlled. I didn't lose a wing unless I ran into something. I didn't lose a wing. If you put another turret gunner in there, let's go. Turret gunner would make this even better. I'm gonna go ahead and say okay with the weapons package because we're about to get to some ships that are loaded, boys. Loaded. Yeah, no cargo, obviously, but yeah, Scorpius is pretty good. All right, continuing on, we have I'm gonna zoom into these so you guys can see which ones they are. This is the Hornet F7C Mark II. I love the new redesign of the ship. Got some bigger hard points for the underwing weapons. You're gonna want to put the biggest single weapon you could put on the turret at the top, and you want to put the biggest single weapon you can put at the bottom to get yourself the best DPS. So you're rocking 4 of those there, right? I mean, what can I say? It's so much DPS. It's slower, of course, than like the Scorpius. It's not all that fast and maneuverable, but I mean, honestly, compared to a lot of these ships, it's pretty good. But I mean, that's a lot of firepower there, boys. That's a lot of firepower. So yeah, great ship. Like I said, durable, okay on the maneuverability, armed to the teeth, right? Great weapons. And some of these ships even get more higher up on the weapons as far as the Hornets are concerned. So I'm not going to put every single Hornet in here. You have great durability. This is the F7C Mark I. So you know what? If this was in order, this would be, no, they're going right. They're right. Sorry, Greg. Okay. Yep. Nope. This is right. You have smaller weapon hard points on this versus the Mark II. That's why it's one step down. Again, you're going to want to put the biggest weapon you can put under the nose, the biggest single weapon you can put on top. It's still a decent enough, DPS to be able to do these VHRTs. And honestly, one thing I missed about the Mark II, you could probably punch up to ERT. You could probably punch, especially if you put ballistic cannons on. Yeah, you could probably do an ERT. But yeah, just, similar maneuverability. I don't like the old look, but that's subjective. But yeah, glad to see the Hornets up there, even though I don't really like them, to be honest. This was a surprising one. Okay, I don't know why. I guess the reason why this isn't like higher up is, oh, that's wrong. Sorry. The reason why this isn't higher up is because it's not interceptor tuned. That's really it. But it was really good. It was surprising. I didn't lose a wing, right? I'm sorry. I didn't lose an engine. I lost all the wings. All the wings got shot off of it, but it doesn't matter. Losing the engines on these is pretty hard. You know what? I did lose one. I still made it home. It's as fast as it can be without being an interceptor tuned ship. It's got 4 size 3 hard points. It's durable, alien ship cool. I mean, yeah, I like it. I normally would make fun of the fact that it's a catcher's mitt for bullets, but honestly, like, if it's not gonna affect the way my ship is flying, I really don't care. If you lose an engine, it's gonna fly weird. You might be able to finish the bounty with one missing engine. I've never ever lost more than 1 in the ship, so I wouldn't know what happens if you lose 2. Actually, I did. In my first look of the ship, I actually knocked off every engine, and I I think was able to make it home, but I was moving really slow with thrustering maneuvers, maneuvering thrusters only. It was crazy. Go watch that video somewhere on my YouTube channel. We're wrapping up the heavy fighters. Again, I hope you guys have been watching this and not skipping through, because you're going to miss the notes that I say at the beginning of each one of these. But here we go. Bam, baby. We have the S tier heavy fighters, F8C and the F7A Mark II. You can get this by doing the overdrive initiative. You'll get an upgrade from the F7C Mark II to the F7A Mark II. All right, let's go over the F8 first. F8 it's crazy, man. It's just got a stupid amount of weapons on it. It's ridiculous. I think it's like 8, maybe. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's got 8 weapons. It is slow. Jeez, I got a lot of little mistakes in here. It is slow. And honestly, it's slower than the F7. By the way, this is a medium fighter. Up in the S tier class, boys. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm bouncing all over the place. But yeah, F8 is it's great. I mean, what can I say? It's got a big broadside, but like, you're fighting against NPCs, you know, it's not that big a deal. According to Avenger 1, it didn't rank very good in PvP because it's a lot slower, but you're fighting against NPCs, and when you're in the VHRT and ERT kind of class, you're going to be fighting against very large ships, and frankly, I put like the slowest weapons I pretty much could on it, and I was able. It was easy to hit my targets, plain simple. That's why I use the M4s, because in most of these ships you can punch up and be fine. I just want the most amount of sustained DPS so I can take my target down as fast as possible. You can do an ERT with this, confirmed. I actually did ERTs. I did an ERT multiple with this. I even took out an 890. Took out an 890. Some of the ships that I have down here on the ERT class, is what I'm calling it, can't even take out an 890 unless you put ballistics on. But you don't even need to put ballistics on it. You could take down an 890. So yeah, great ERT ship. And frankly, yeah, let me move on to this one, and then I'll do my closing statements on all these ships. So this is the F7A Mark II. It has even bigger weapons than the rest of them, right? You don't want to take this turret off anyway. It's got like 2 size 3 weapons or something. I don't quote me on the size. It doesn't matter. It's got the same amount of hard points as the rest, except the weapons are just bigger. It's ridiculous, my dudes. Still not as much DPS, I don't think, as the F8, but it is more maneuverable. So if you like to be more maneuverable, then this might be the route to go. But really glad to see this up here with a heavy fighter, with it being a medium fighter. But all the maneuverability of all these ships are just fine for doing VHRTs and higher, although some of these I wouldn't really recommend doing it an ERT. I know that this ranking is kind of weird. I think I have it in a way that's most helpful for people to decide what they want, what they should buy, either with real money or Alpha UBC, to be effective at bounties. But just note, some of these S and A tier ships can do an ERT, but in my opinion, I wouldn't do ERTs for the fun of it, and I wouldn't do ERTs for the 25K. So let's scroll down to the ERT class, boys. My notes on the ERT class: cargo is important, okay? You know, this is a guide on what ships are going to be best for doing ERTs. And if you're going to be doing ERTs, you need to be taking the cargo. Now that we're here, let me show you guys how much money you can make with cargo, okay? This is a clip from my live stream. This is the most amount of drugs I have ever sold in this patch, and the most amount of money I've made. And I got the loot from this from 1 ERT. And I think I only took from 2 ships. All right, so I'm right here at the point where I actually sell this. We can see how much money I made. 2 mil. 1.92 mil from One ship had 17 SCU, total of 3 boxes. I believe it was like, maybe it was 2 boxes. I think it's 16 SCU and then one SCU. So 17 SCU of gasping weevil eggs will make you 1.92 million. The place where I sold this, and you'll have to go online to one of the trading apps and find out where you can sell it. But you're gonna want to scan the ships that you kill in ERTs if you have cargo space, because you might have literally left millions of Alpha UC on the table. And here's the deal. The whole time I was doing this, I was talking to chat, and 17 SCU in one ERT is kind of like a little bit above average. Some people get like 32 SCU in one ship, or 36 maybe. Crazy boys. You also want to look up what the other vices are, because there's also ultratoxin. I didn't get very much for that at all. I only got 22k for 4 SCU.
Isn't worth
So really, like, if you don't have a lot of SCU space, pretty much just get the gasping weevil eggs and then just GTFO.
Widow.
Be wary though, these places could be PvP hotspots, all right? But the most important thing to note here is you've invested nothing but your time and whatever you need to do to claim your ship. Crazy. Oh, how much did I get for the Widow? 54k for 4 SCU. Yeah, probably worth it to grab that. Gasping weevil eggs in a green box. Widow is in a white box. I think ultratoxin is as well. If you see a green box or a white box, grab it. It's probably a vice, and vices will sell pretty good if you go to the right places. That is very important for this ranking guide, so keep that in mind as I scroll up here. Now, this first ship, I will admit, I didn't know where to put it on the list. So yeah, it's terrible. I didn't fly this as well. The only 2 ships that didn't fly were the Sentinel and the Valkyrie. And the Valkyrie has 2 size 3 weapons, maybe even smaller than that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Way too weak to do any of these bounties effectively. And it has half the HP of the Cuddy Steel. I mean, it's great for moving vehicles around. You know, it's a cool looking drop ship, you know, but yeah, it's just not built for these missions. And if I didn't put it here, people are going to ask in the comments. So, and there's still gonna be somebody in the comments who skip to the end to just see like where the ships are, and they're gonna tell me, why do you put that on the list? Here we got major upsets, boys. We got more tiers, more tiers, more tiers. All right. It's so bad. It's so bad. If it wasn't for the Valkyrie just not being built for these missions, period, right? Because we're talking ERT class here. I'm judging this on the ability to do an ERT. The 600i would actually be in E tier. I had to move it up because I couldn't put it on the same line as the Valkyrie. Let's start off with this first ship here. Moderate on the durability. Nothing to write home about compared to all the other ships on this list. It is slow AF. Another one of those where you might want to throw something at the screen. Honestly, you know, I don't even care about it being slow. I'm fine with it. But then you get to the weapons, and hot damn, here's what CIG tried to do. Here's what they did. It's not that they tried, here's what they did. It is clearly tuned to not be able to one-shot a light fighter. It seems like the alpha damage is literally just below where most light fighters have for a nose HP value. So, you know, honestly, that is fine, except when you multiply those shots out, right? By the way, it's a charge weapon now. So you press and hold, it'll let go for you and you have a full shot, or you can let go early and you don't do as much damage. When I was using it, I've held it, let it shoot, I let it go, went back in. You cannot just hold it. Maybe that could have maybe helped it. I doubt it. You're gonna get the rhythm down, I guess. It's just annoying. It can't take out an 890 jump. It can't complete every ERT you come across. Against every other ship, it's fine, but the 890 jump is a prominent ship in the ERT class bounty, and I get it like 25% of the time in 890. And unfortunately, you can't put a ballistic weapon on it, so you can't, like, you know, brute force through the shields and do damage directly to the hull, I'm still not melting mine. You know, this ship has been nerfed plenty of times before, and I'm keeping it because I have faith that they'll figure out what they need to do so it's not too OP, but is an asset to taking out capital class ships. Because right now, I would not even bring this to Xenothreat to help the fleet take out an Idris. Get into some of the other ships that are up here. Let me let this dog out real quick up here. This was very surprising. Yeah, very surprising. So some of the ships that are ranked higher up got buffs with their total amount of DPS because they now have 4 size 5s rather than 3 size 5s. Okay, so that's why I'm giving it, that's 3 size 5s damn good. Okay, but you know, there was other ships before. So anyway, the weapons are great. It's got some cargo space, and you know what, it's probably durable. It probably is, but it can't survive an ERT because it's so slow and so big. It was the only ship on this list that I died in doing an ERT. I actually like died. I died. I didn't die in anything else, right? This got fed up and well, I guess I did die in the Ion because I rammed the 890 jump with it because I got pissed because I couldn't take the shields down. Oh yeah, I don't know if I finished that, but the Ion does not, because the alpha damage is so low, it does not do enough damage per minute. Like, you can't do enough damage to overcome an 890 shield. Full disclosure, there is a bug out there with an invincible 890. Maybe that could possibly be an issue. Maybe I got that bug twice in a row. I kind of found out about it after this, but you'll see it doesn't matter because the other ships on this list will have like double the sustained DPS. Tended to the dogs, and chat was talking about how it's crazy that I wouldn't recommend this for doing Xenothreat because it's got like 2,300 sustained DPS because of how long it takes to charge it and the alpha damage, right? I don't want it to be able to hit a light fighter. I don't want it to do that. I didn't buy it for that. What I bought it for was taking down capital class ships, subcapital, corvettes, big ass ships. That's what I bought it for. Not effective. If without the 890, if the 890 wasn't in this pool, then I probably would rank it higher. But the 890 is something you're gonna have to do. If you don't, like if you get it and you skip it, you're like losing rep, you're wasting time because when you abandon a mission, you have to wait longer for another one to come through. So trash for doing these missions, absolute trash. And every other ship up here is better. This ship, in my opinion, is another one that doesn't belong on the list, but just because I don't want to have to answer the comments over and over again, it's got 2 size 3 weapons for the pilot. Why are you gonna waste your time doing a bounty in it, right? Like, I definitely wouldn't do an ERT. It's fast, maneuverable, it's durable, you know, for its size. It's durable. It just doesn't have enough pilot weapons for you to do this type of thing. This is my favorite ship, right? Great everyday driver. I'll load a nurse in it. You do bounties, like bunker missions. It's a great ship. I love it. You can put an XL1 in it, get from to and fro. I love the ship. Don't do bounties with it. Not recommended. There may be some other ships that I might have missed. That's probably the reason why. Okay, now here we might have some controversy, but I don't give a fuck. What's important is I'm giving you my opinions. If you don't agree, then whatever, all right? The torps are kind of hit or miss. The biggest success that I've had is an EM torp thrown from as far away as you can throw it. You should see an 890 jump at like 19,000 kilometers, something like that. You'll be able to lock on, and I think it requires 2 torps to kill. Now, if you throw them closer, or if you throw a cross-section missile, because the cross-section missile has a slower like movement speed, it gets shot down every time. And that is what comes stock on all these ships. And so not a lot of people know this, but put an EM torpedo on it and sit as far away as you can. 2 reasons why, the reasons why you want to sit as far away as you can is because I think that them knowing you're there may have some sort of an effect on how they react, and they might shoot it down. I could be wrong with that. You might be able to get closer and throw an EM torp, but I mean, who cares? Just, why would you, if you want to get the thing done as quickly as possible, as soon as you get within range, throw the torp. 2, 4, and 890, everything else should blow up with 1. There's not very many ships that can survive a torp hit. The issue is like the amount of time it's going to take you to rearm. Is it worth it? You're making 25K per bounty. I mean, if these torps don't hit, you know, you might have to, you know, reload every one, right? Don't repair the ship. You have to claim it, because the torps are so much money. It removes some of your capital, right? And if you want to be immersive and not claim your ship after every ERT, then don't. You're not gonna make any money, you know. And if you think it's fun to sneak up on an NPC and throw a delete button, that may or may not, that still may not work, because welcome to Star Citizen. So that's why these are ranked there. The Retaliator, as you guys know now, is modular. It's got a lot of turrets. The turrets are getting bigger in a new patch. It's got 6 size 2 shield generators. So it's a great multi-crew ship. I mean, it's gonna be a hammerhead competitor once they buff it, and it's coming soon. Gold standard is out, and if you're watching this and haven't played in a while, you can actually buy the bomber module and put it in there. So there's no more Retaliator bomber, and there's no more Retaliator base. Everyone has a base, and you either own the modules or you don't. And there's a cargo module and a torp module right now. Anyway, I mean, great ship, but not for these missions. I'm just not gonna spend the money on torps. I'm not gonna waste the time rearming. And you only get 4 torps. You got 4 enemies in an ERT. If one of them misses, then you're not gonna be able to loot effectively, because you're gonna be getting shot at by the last person that's left. So anyway, and if it's an 890, you don't have no torps. So that's why I ranked it above the Eclipse, because it has more torps and does have a little bit of cargo. All right, now here we start to get into an area where you could have some fun. All right, now no cargo space in any of these ships, but they are effective at taking out the bounty alone. So if that's all you want to do and you don't want to make millions selling the illegal vice, then this is another route you can go. First on this list, I have the Prowler. You could probably like mix these up. I don't care, but they're all on the same tier for me. The Prowler has big hard points, right? I believe size 5, 2 size 5s. It might be 4. Some big ass cannons under there. I put all deadbolts on the Prowler. Full deadbolts. I never even tried the ballistic cannons. It had enough ballistic ammo in the deadbolts to take out an entire ERT, and I actually had to call someone because I found that 17 Gassing Weevil eggs using this ship to blow up the 890. Yeah, blew up an 890, and it still had enough ammo to go around. No, there was no 890 in it. I'm sorry, there was no 890. They were just Hercules. Anyway, great ship. When you're in it, it doesn't show you all the weapons you have. You know how, you can see your weapons on the side of your HUD? It's missing 2 of them. Weird bug. So just know if you get in, like, you have the weapons, they're just not showing in there. But yeah, it's got 4 hard points, and two big ones and 2 regular size hard points. Let's just call it that, because I don't know the exact size right now, but not important. It's a great ship, but you're gonna want to put the ballistic cannons on it. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. Prowler is maneuverable. Probably like the most maneuverable ship on this list. Unless I have like, yeah, very maneuverable. Pretty crazy. I loved it. It was nice. Kind of refreshing after flying all these other ships, right? Yeah, so just wanted to add that in there. It's maneuverable, and of course it's got good weapons, good durability. All right, Redeemer. As far as durability is concerned, most OP ship in the game. If you get one of these in an ERT, it's a problem. It's a problem. There's currently a shield bug where if you take down the front shield, you can't take down the front shield if they're close to you, right? I don't know what the distance is, but I have been able to take down the front shield when they're farther away. So anyway, and you can't just move away, right? Because master mode slow things down, so you can't really get away. And then even when you do, like, you don't have but a fraction of a second to maybe take down the front shield. Anyway, sorry, the bug will make it so that if you shoot through the front shield, the rear one goes down. Okay, that happens with all of these ships, but it doesn't matter because every other ship in an ERT pool is slow as so you just come around behind it. This is also slow as but the NPC ship's not the same as the one we fly. I've told people they're full of shit with that, but no. This thing always has its nose on me whenever I'm in a ship capable of fighting it. And it's terrible. We're getting into ships that now they have size 3 shield generators, right? By the way, size 3 shield generators are OP right now. You have quadrants for the shields, right? Not bubble shield. Size 2 have bubble, size 1 have bubble. With that invincible shield bug, you're gonna take the rear turret down, and the only way you're gonna blow it up is hitting this fucking tail right here. And then when the tail finally blows up, then you kill it, or I guess you could take it out by hitting the center too, if you can manage to get behind it. Anyway, that's when you have to kill one. If you're actually in one, it's got good weapons. It's very durable, like so durable that like if you die, you should probably find a new game to play, okay? It is very durable. I mean, you could probably just like not fight some of the NPCs sometimes. If you can get out of this thing and you're like sitting on the ground and like an NPC pirate comes through and they're like shooting at you, don't worry about it as long as you kept your shields on. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. No NPC is gonna be able to take down those shields unless you like it. Yeah, you get the point. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any cargo, so it's not great. So in my opinion, it really wasn't that bad. The maneuverability is what really kills it. But unless I'm fighting another Redeemer, it really didn't matter because I'm fighting against like these big ships that are going to have the same type of turn rate, right? So anyway, that's where that is. If you have to fight one of these in an ERT, it's a problem. It's my least favorite ship to have to fight. But if you actually want to use one, you put some ballistic cannons on this, and it can take out these ERTs. You might even be able to do ballistic or laser cannons. But yeah. All right. Next up, did I mention that this has 2 size 3 shield generators? Oh my God, I gotta cut this in. 2 size 3 shield generators. Those OP shields I was talking about. 2 size 3. Somebody f***ed up over Cloud Imperium Games. All you guys who are complaining about this ship right now, about it being too slow, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I think it's still OP the way it is right now. Now we're talking about multi-crew, maybe even PvP. It really just depends on whether or not the turrets are fast enough to be able to hit the targets. I don't know. I haven't done any PvP with it. Shields, OP. Size 3 shields are OP anyway, right? The rest of the ships up here, I believe, yep, have 1. That is 2. And it's a third of the size. But it's slow AF. All right. The Inferno. Moderately durable, slow as but great damage. And the reason why is because of the ballistics will allow it to get through the shields. It's got a lot more total DPS you could do before you have to go back and rearm than the Ion. Yeah, I mean, that it's basically the same as the Ion, except you can actually do an ERT because you can get past the hull or the shields and actually do damage to the hull. I don't like the Gatling. Like I wish that they had a ballistic cannon version, or if you could like modify the Ion and put a laser cannon in it, or a ballistic cannon in it. That would be dope. That'd be dope. Anyway, yep. I mean, that's where we are with it. I'd do it. But now we're getting to a point where I'm gonna be honest. I don't recommend doing an ERT in any of these ships. This is not the way to make money, boys. The way to make money is right here. So our first ship in the, I can't grab that, in the A tier class is the C2. Now the C2 only has 2 size 5 weapons, okay? But it's got a massive cargo hold, and the convenience when doing an ERT to just throw shit in there is nice. You don't have to organize it because you got so much room. Just take it, throw the thing in the back, and then you're probably not going to want to run around and do 5 ERTs loading this up with drugs, because there's the risk that you could get this stolen from a player, or you die in a bounty, and you don't want to take that risk. So I would sell after maybe every 1 or 2 ERTs. Anyway, I digress. The cargo hold's great. It's got good enough pilot weapons. I did not try to take out an 890 with it. I never got one. I tried, but I wasn't able to get an 890 with it. Showed up in all the other ships, but let me take a look. Actually, I could tell you, come stock with the weapons that I recommend, M series cannons. The biggest you can get, 2 size 5s. And it has 20, nope, I don't think this can take out an 890 because the Ares Ion, Crusader Ares Ion. Look at the Ion. I think you could do it. I think you can. I'm sorry. I'm going back and forth. I think you can do an 890 with it. Let me know in the comments below if you're able to kill an 890 with a C2 Herc with laser cannons. If you can take out an 890 with any of these ERTs, I recommend using the laser cannons. That way you don't have to worry about rearming and you can just keep going and just churning out money. Okay. But yeah, so durable, obviously not very maneuverable, but honestly, better turn rate than the Redeemer. I don't know what's going on there. Drum roll, boys. I guess you guys probably know what ships are going to be up here, but we'll start from left to right. Okay. Now, all the Connies are good. They can all fit 4 size 5s. That's what I recommend doing. 4 size 5 M7As, I believe, whatever the biggest M series cannons are you can put on it. And very durable with the size 3 shield. They're not the slowest out of all the ships in here, and they have a lot of weapons, right? Great for multi-crew. This particular one in the image is the Andromeda. If you were going multi-crew, the Andromeda would be the better route to go because you have 2 turrets, one at the top here and one at the bottom, and you also have a snub. So yeah, definitely the multi-crew Connie to go. And if you have an Aquila, then your solo gameplay is going to be exactly the same. The maneuverability right now is the same between all the Connies. Now, I don't expect that to be there for long, which means that this may one day move down a spot, or at least all the way to the end of the A tier. That's why I separated this one is the Taurus. And the only reason I recommend the Taurus over the Andromeda is the IRL cost, and it has more cargo. There are some boxes that you'll get for the weaver legs, whatever boxes you're going to be taking, that are just like barely able to fit in the regular Connie. So I'm giving this one a couple more points and the shine because it's cheap with actual money, and it still has the same weapon hard points for the pilot, right? You do lose out on the turrets. It's got like a tractor gun, which I never used it. And when I was doing some of these, I wasn't actually taking cargo on all of them. I started doing the cargo like towards the end of this testing. I got like 8 mil so far, and I think I've sold like 3 to 4 times.
Let's go, boys.
Anyway, I digress. No snub. You do apparently have like some shielded cargo that can't be seen by the authorities, which is pretty good. I guess if you're selling weaver legs, I would just go from the ERT straight to the place where you can sell it, but that's where those are. Again, if I didn't finish, the Aquila has a scanning turret that does nothing right now, and it has 1 turret, so it's a little bit better for multi-crew than the Taurus. And the Phoenix is basically the same as the Andromeda, I think. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is a solo guide. The solo weapons are all the same on all of them, and they all are just as maneuverable, but the Taurus has some extra cargo space. Then we have the king of the ERTs. Oh, the Taurus does have 1 turret? Oh, I didn't know that. Now we have the king of the ERTs, boys. The king of the ship that makes it all worth it. The Corsair. Beautiful, right? Normally I like sleek ships like the Crusader ships, but I love asymmetry, and I love the way this new Drake dystopian look is going. So the cargo space isn't that great. Like, I'd rather have a C2, but the pilot weapons on this are stupid. It's stupid. 4 size 5s on the nose. And if you remember to pull the wings down, you get more weapons on the wings for a total of 6 weapons. So 2 more weapons on the wings. Oh. Do not put ballistic cannons on this ship. Put laser cannons on it. The M series cannons, they come stock. Leave it stock because it melts an 890 as much as melting an 890 can be done. Yeah, it slaps the 890. So of course it's going to slap every other ship in ERT, and you have cargo space. I don't know what else to say. But yep. I don't know if would you guys say it's the best way to make money in the game right now? Probably, right? Bounty hunting is still the way to make money, but you can't do it in a light fighter anymore. All right, so overall, I am a little bit disappointed that doing a VHRT while the NPCs are shooting as intended is hard to do with the light fighters. You might be able to get away with it with the S tier ones, but I would not. It's just a waste of time. Like, I'd rather just do multiple ERTs or HRTs. I'm sorry. I hope that if we get to the point where we can take a warm bounty, I hope that you can make more money that way than like actually blowing a person up. If you actually take them and turn them in, you know, light fighters not being able to do ERT, I'm fine with that. I really would like it if a good pilot with the NPCs turrets performing as intended, I would like to see it be possible to do it with if you're a good pilot, but I was not able to do it. And if I don't have enough skill to be able to do it, then I don't think most people are going to want to do it. Okay. I'm sure there's some people out there who are better. And again, remember the turrets are on 11 when we have better performance, but we've kind of been degrading a little bit and they're okay now. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the ranking guide. Definitely a lot of tiers in here. 325A, Banu Defender, tiers. Tiers for the Gladius and the Arrow. Really, these four, the Blade and the Talon as well. Some, you know, ships that I've been shitting on for the last few years are actually, you know, viable. Medium fighters. These are all actually good. Like, all these are fine. I mean, there's got to be some bad, right? Like, these aren't too bad. You can still get the VHRT done, except maybe not with the Saber. Dude, if the NPCs are on it, like, yeah, you're gonna get fucked. And then down here in the ERT class, really think this is the probably the best way to make money in the verse right now. And if you wanted to just like shoot your way through an ERT, this is a decent route to go with all these. If you want to torp your way through it, there you go. And then don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my God, don't do it. And then these are only here so that I can not have to sift through a bunch of comments asking me where they're at. Yeah, let me know in the comments if I missed any ships. Let me know what your thoughts are on these ships for doing ERT, VHRT, and HRT bounties. That's it, boys. I will see you in the next one. Peace out. And take a look at the giveaway. There's probably a giveaway going on right now for June.